I'm Mallory Hartley. That's Greg Powers, and it's This Week
in Cruton.
It's This Week in Recruiting, presented by our good friends at Chicken Express. Powers, it's been a long time since we've done This Week in Recruiting, and it's been a long time since we've mentioned one of our favorite fast food restaurants in Chicken Express.
No doubt. It's not been a long time since I've eaten there. You want to know why?
Oh, no, not at all.
Because I make Chicken Express one of my weekly stops, and as a matter of fact, so should everybody at home. It's Hype Week, and if you need some Hype Week crunch, get you a Chicken Express lunch.
Wow, poetic. Very poetic. Very, very poetic. I always want Chicken Express. I just want to state that as a fact. But I especially want it when I'm coming back from a vacation or I'm flying somewhere and I don't want to cook. My mind immediately goes to Chicken Express.
Since you're on the recruiting beat this year, I got to give you the Chicken Express hack. The Chicken Express hack of all hacks.
Okay.
Chicken Express hits the hardest coming back from practice. You want to know why? The tea. I mean, you always get like a comforting meal, but the tea is so refreshing, like after a hot day out watching some Texas high school football in the sun. Dude.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah,
there is nothing like our good friends at Chicken Express. Well, welcome back. We haven't done This Week in Recruiting in a long time. But some good news, we will be here every single Tuesday all throughout the season, live at noon, to bring you all recruiting coverage across the Lone Star State, of course, presented by Chicken Express, as always. Shall we just go ahead and jump right into it?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm hyped for this. It is Hype Week. So
it is Hype Week.
Maybe that's like the word of the day or whatever.
The word of the day.
Sorry if I say it a lot.
I love it. I love it. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We'll start with our prospect on the rise, and we're going to go down to San Antonio. Our prospect on the rise this week is San Antonio Roosevelt 2027 offensive lineman Kaeden Scott. The 6'7", 290-pounder is the newest DCTX 4-star prospect. And watching his tape a little bit, he has quite a few reps there at left tackle as a sophomore on varsity, and has already been offered by a plethora of the big boy programs like Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Nebraska, Ohio State, Stanford, and much more.
Already has an offer from the national champs, too, the big dogs in state. So, I mean, that says everything you need to know about the type of prospect that Kaeden Scott is. But I love his tape. As a matter of fact, I'm putting Kaeden Scott right in the mix to be one of the top prospects in the class. And I think that his name should be mentioned when you're thinking about who the number one prospect in the state should be. His tape is just that good. He has the wingspan that you're looking for, and he quite literally has the feet that make him special. I really think that's what sets him apart on film, is his ability to maneuver. And you're starting to see like the tip of the iceberg on his offer list right now. We mentioned some really good programs, but I fully expect him to be a 40-plus offer type of recruit. Offensive tackles are at a premium in today's college football right now. It's one of the higher paid positions throughout all of the NIL collectives. We saw it this year with Felix Ojo at Mansfield Lake Ridge and committing to Texas Tech. I mean, it's a good class of offensive linemen, but Kaeden Scott is going to leave his mark, and I think that he's going to be playing at one of those programs that's like a national championship contender every year.
I think just his sheer size stands out to me on tape. The way that he just mismatches defenders up front. I mean, he benches 345 pounds and squats 515. Wow. He's just a massive boy, and he's already racking up those accolades that, you're looking for in a next level prospect. Like, he's already accepted his invitation to the 2026 Navy All-American Bowl and already participated in a couple of big boy camps at Texas and Texas A&M this summer. So I'd say he's doing all of the right things to get noticed by the right people.
Agree 100%. And I think the first thing that I thought of when I'm watching that tape is this dude's a sophomore on this.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't play like a sophomore, and he's definitely not built like a younger prospect. He has all the tools that colleges are looking for right now.
All right, let's move on to the commit of the week. The commit of the week is none other than a Frisco Lone Star 2026 athlete, Davian Groce, and he just recently committed to play for the Florida Gators over programs like Oklahoma, Houston, and Baylor. 6'2", 190 pounds. He's the second Florida commit, ranked within the DCTX Rising 100 in the 2026 class. Of course, joining top-ranked defensive end KJ Ford. They're already putting together quite the class here, and Davian Groce is just another booming athlete adding to this list.
No doubt about it. He's a guy that can quite literally do everything on the football field, and that's why he's been one of the most highly targeted guys in all of Texas high school football. You know, he broke onto the scene. I know you're well aware because you've been to a lot of their games, but he broke onto the scene that freshman year as a running back, and, you know, he's made his mark as a running back year over year, but he's continued to grow into the wide receiver position. So this is a true athlete, a guy that brings a unique skill set to the table. He does things that are quite different than a lot of other players out there on the field, just because he's such a good weapon at wideout. I think that he'll probably be a wide receiver at the next level as he continues to evolve his game, but he's going to get carries. He's going to be moved around the offense to create mismatches and do a lot of fun things that Gators fans are really going to love. Like, he is the star of the show.
Yes.
If you go to a Lone Star game, it doesn't really matter who they're playing. Most people in the stands, most people at home watching on TV, they're watching to see what Davian Groce is going to do, and he's built quite a prolific profile throughout he'll be a 4-year starter, a rare 4-year starter in Texas high school football. So throughout his 4-year career at Lone Star, he's been like a marquee name.
Absolutely. Well, he caught 43 passes for 702 yards and 5 touchdowns, averaging 16 yards a reception last year, while rushing for 687 yards and 7 touchdowns, averaging almost 9 yards a carry. But then he also added 3 return touchdowns, 2 kick return, 1 punt return. So he, like you said, can literally do it all. But I don't want this to take away from the team that Frisco Lone Star is bringing in from a Texas high school football perspective this year, right? You have Davian Groce. You also have Carice Hoyt, Jordan Deck, Christopher Knowles. Ryder Mix there at tight end.
Bryant Robinson.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So Davian Groce has this set of weapons around him as well that could potentially get them to AT&T Stadium this year.
It's going to be a fun year for Frisco Lone Star, but I always like to talk about this when I talk about Frisco Lone Star. Jeff Rayburn and his staff there has done a tremendous job of developing talent.
Yes.
Have you heard the name Ashton Genty, Florida Gators fans? Because he played the same position at Frisco Lone Star and put up very similar style of production. I mean, his senior year was insane. I think it was like 1,800 yards rushing, 800 yards receiving. Well, Davian Groce brings some of those same qualities to the table. But what I love about this Lone Star program is the guys that they're putting out, they are some of the best players in college football and then on to the pros. Nick Bolton. And sometimes these guys are 3-stars that are flying under the radar somehow at Frisco Lone Star that are not only elite college players but future all-pros.
How about Marvin Mims?
Yep, Marvin Mims. I mean, there's a long list. Like,
the list goes on and
but
on.
Every year you can expect one of these guys to come out of this program, right? And if they're a 3-star, you still have to pay as much attention to them as anybody else. By the way, Davian Groce is not a 3-star. He's a 4-star at the top of towards the top of our entire ranking set. So he's like an elite player. But what I'm saying is the way they develop players is ideal.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and round out this week in recruiting with the underclassman of the week. The underclassman of the week is Tyler Legacy, 2027 offensive lineman DeMarrion Johnson, 6'6", 310 pounds. Another big boy we're talking about this week. Committed to Texas A&M last week over programs like TCU, Texas Tech, Alabama, and more.
He had them all.
He had them all. I mean, you know. But the funny thing is about it, I saw Mike Roach's article over him. He kind of just dropped his commitment announcement out of nowhere. Didn't leave any hints. didn't set at a commitment date, just kind of dropped it on social media and was like, yeah, I'm going to Texas A&M.
When you know, you know?
When you know, you know.
No, I love this commit for Texas A&M, another guy who is highly regarded on and off of the field. And this is a common theme when we've been talking about Mike Elko recruits, we've been talking about the classes they've been putting together. They're not only getting great players on tape, they're getting great character guys, they're getting football player guys. And one of the things that I love about DeMarrion Johnson is that he was THSCA Super Elite, which means that he was picked by the coaches for not only having outstanding play on the field, but he's exemplary off of the field, which means that he's the best of both worlds. And that's exactly the type of recruit that the Aggies are targeting now. Also, he's really good. You're probably watching the highlights as I'm droning on about his talents. He is massive. We talked about Caden Scott off the top and his footwork. DeMarrion Johnson is right up there with him, will equal him in the rankings list. He will be a 4-star guy. He's going to be a guy that Texas A&M fans are going to love in this class. Kind of like starting with the bookend is almost as good as starting with the quarterback, because what if that great bookend leads to the big quarterback commit? You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Absolutely. Well, and what I like about Texas A&M's recruiting right now is the big offensive tackles that they've been able to pull in from the state of Texas. Lamont Rogers, one of our favorite prospects from the class of 2025, Jonte Newman from last year, and then they already have Zayden Crimpin in the class of 2026. Now you're adding another big-time offensive tackle from the class of 2027 from the state of Texas. Their track record with these offensive tackles it's impressive.
I think it's also cool to see that like when you're putting together these recruiting classes year over year, I kind of look at them in 2-year bursts, right? Like, because those are the guys who are going to be playing together. And in today's college football, when you're recruited as a freshman, you're expected to contribute. The way that they've assembled this offensive front, the guys all complement each other really well. They all have a different kind of skill set. They can play in these different types of roles. They're very versatile up front, which I think really is going to open up a lot of holes for not only the running backs that they currently have, but they've done a great job in the running back room. Even going back to last year with the number 1 running back in the state, Tiger Ryden, and then moving across to this year's class with Jonathan Hatton and KJ Edwards. Those are 3 very different and versatile running backs. Who are going to be able to utilize this offensive front. This is going to be I'm telling you, I'm calling my shot now. I'm going to go ahead and call it early. Texas A&M is going to be a fun team to watch underneath the Mike Elko, and I think we're only starting to see the glimpses of it underneath the Saturday night lights in college football.
I think so too. When I was putting together the numbers of the DCTX Rising 100 prospect list the other day, I believe they have 8 or 9 2026 commitments already that are ranked within our top 100 recruits, which is really impressive. It says a lot about the way that they're recruiting right now. Do you know what also is really impressive? Greg Powers.
Let's go. I get a compliment at the end of the show. You killed it today.
Oh, you killed it too. But I always think that you're impressive and you're a good coworker to work with. You're also very versatile, which I appreciate.
That would be my scouting report. They're like, if you versatility.
Versatility would be number 1 on your scouting report if I had to make one. You'd also be a 5-star too.
Well, I appreciate that. That means I'd be in the top 5 of your coworkers. Because here at Dave Campbell's Texas Sports, we have the top 5 or 5 stars.
Absolutely. He's Greg Powers, Director of Recruiting at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. You can follow him on Twitter at GPowerScout. And of course, always keep it locked with all recruiting coverage across the Lone Star State at texasfootball.com/recruiting.